Ladies and gentlemen, let's have some be quiet here, and we're about to begin the Casco Township Board of Trustees meeting for July 2025. Let's all stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you everybody for coming. All right. First thing on the agenda, the consent agenda, we have two modifications on the item of new business, item B and C. Is B, they're both pertain to the same stuff with the ordinances, but they're resolutions. We have Casco Township resolution for item B, 2025-09, and for item C, Casco Township resolution 2025-10. And we have the addition of item O, the invoicer.
Sure, go ahead.
Midland Staff Incorporated invoice number 24164. Okay. Any questions?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the modifications as stated.
Support.
And the one addition is also?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion support to approve the consent agenda with the modifications to the agenda. Any other questions? Roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Eden, yes. Kaczynski, yes.
Stevens, yes. Motion carries. Okay, citizens' comments. This is the time for people to address the township board on any items of concern. Mind you, we'll keep you to a 3-minute. If someone could have someone do that.
Hi. My name's Alicia. This is Cody. We're the residents at 9460 Springville Road. I just wanted to have an open door communication with you guys and talk to you about some of the allegations made toward us in the last board meeting. Because unfortunately we were not here and able to answer some of your questions and things like that. However, when the video came out, it was everything that was said was not the truth. And that was pretty frustrating for us. So now we're convinced that we have this woman spying on our property line and looking for us doing something wrong, when I don't think it really needs to be that way. So starting out with all of these false claims, she says that the buffalo are in a round pen. The buffalo are not in a round pen. They're in round pen fencing, but it is not a round pen. She said that she called animal control. She called the St. Clair County Sheriff, and he came out, he walked the whole property. We went over protocol with him on what to do if a buffalo ever does get loose. She claimed that they have gotten loose and that they're aggressive. Never have gotten loose.
They were never in the trailer. I paid $1,000 to have this buffalo shipped up here from Texas. Randy Chartier trained them. You can about pet these things. Like, they're more docile than any cow around here.
The use of what we have them for was questioned. We don't pen them and chase them and rope them. They're used for a cutting horse program, which is show horses. They're taken care of very well. And at the end of the day, at some point, they're going to be food. So she complains that they're hidden in the back of our barn. They're not zoo animals. They shouldn't be up by the road. Why would we have bison up by the road? Her main complaint was our fencing, that it's not tall enough. Bison are considered cattle in the state of Michigan. In the state of Michigan, there's no requirement on fence height. But clearly, if you can look in our driveway, we have all the materials there that we're working on our fencing with.
Yeah, I noticed up front you're replacing fencing there.
The buffalo are not going to be up there. They are kept in steel pipe fencing. They're not getting out.
Okay. state of Michigan, you're familiar with the GAMS, the generally acceptable agricultural
Yes.
measure? Okay. You follow that, you're zoned agricultural. As long as you follow the GAMS from that, you're fine to go there with your operation.
Yeah, we basically just wanted to come voice these allegations to the board because we're new to Casco Township. We have, you know, a new farm here in the township, and this woman ultimately came in and kind of tried to destroy our reputation before we even ever had a chance to meet the board. So basically, we don't want to worry that she is investigating our property line and that you guys are condoning it.
No, we follow the township ordinances and state laws.
All right. Is there anything else that you want to add?
With the complaint, I will say she has a personal vendetta against me. I used to work for her, she's friends with my ex, so I appreciate if you guys took that with a grain of salt.
We do have some township ordinances covering about the amount of horses you can have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5 for the first horse, it's 5 acres. Every horse after that is an acre.
Yeah.
We have 10 horses there. That is in my lease. So,
And you follow manure, management.
yep.
No, that's really our main issue, is we just wanted to come here to say we know we are not doing anything wrong.
It's not a boarding facility. This is a training facility. These people pay me to train their horses.
Like this it's our home. This is where we, you know, just try to go out in our backyard and enjoy.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And welcome to Casco.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else would like
Yes,
to?
I have something to say. I need to correct, the ordinance is 2 acres for the first horse,
Okay.
not 5.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That makes it better.
And then also, I was present at that meeting. And it's very distressing to me because the board indicated that pictures should be taken by that woman. I just want to make that known and clear. That thought did not come into her head independently.
Thank you for that. We heard that too.
Yeah. The only reason, the reason why pictures were mentioned is because whenever myself or others had checked it out, I never even seen a horse out there.
And that's really all our thing was just come knock on our door.
Yeah, we
Give us a
invited
call.
you guys over.
You know,
Yeah, I know you did.
that was really it. You know, we had heard nothing from the township at all. And that was really our only issue.
But what she's frustrated about, what we've seen on YouTube, they use Miss Eagle used words as shady people. And I know that's between her and the police department, not the super, or the township. But it's definition of character, it's ruining their business. Not ruining it, but it,
It did kind of sound like, go ahead, like sneak around and take
so
photos.
people are afraid to have the horses trained there because of what's being said, you know, and we comply, they comply with every ordinance there is in that zone. And that's why we invited you and Kurt over here, you'd be impressed what we're doing.
Okay.
So,
All right. All right, thank you. Anybody else has any? Okay, if there's no other comments, then we're going to move on with the agenda. Number 1, old business is FP Mailing Solutions, postage meter increase.
All right, Dan doesn't know about this, but I did send an email out, and I think it's best if we use up what postage we have on the postage meter and not continue it. It does look professional, but it's not cost effective. So right now we have like $600 worth of postage on there. So I sent an email and I told everybody, don't use the pre-stamp, use the postage machine. And I believe it's August 15th is when our contract is up with them.
It was good to try it.
Yeah, Yeah, and he sent me an email back and he said we have to sign for a minimum of 24 months. And if we don't do it before our current contract expires, that it would be an 8% rate increase, but they don't do month to month. So I think we just use up the postage and then, at the beginning of August or whatever, I send them a letter and say, we're not gonna renew it.
Just get a roll of stamps after that.
And we have stamps, and then I bought the envelopes from the post office that already have the postage on them, so, yeah. I think that's the best to do.
All right. Okay. All right, okay, new business, Duke Broadband, expansion of high-speed internet in Casco Township. So Duke, you wanna?
How you guys doing?
Go ahead, right there, take that up, or you can talk like that.
I'll do this over this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're running a little behind our projected timelines. We've had some issues. When we originally designed this network to be built, we were going aerial, and we've been getting so many denials, pull issues with DTE that it's just more cost effective to do it in underground format. And to be honest, it's a better network when it's done underground because you're not so susceptible to storms, trees, those kind of damages. But we've just finished up IRA and now we're migrating over into Casco. And Casco is not a hard build for us. It's not a super big build. The areas that we got to fulfill for our grant applications, those are coming in first. And then once those are built, then we plan on expanding off of that network.
Now, Dave, what road are you coming up in Casco?
Hudson Road, Meldrum Road, we got a little bit on Lindsay Road, 26 Mile Road.
Okay.
It's kind of like, it's cut up. I can email you an exact map of where
Sure.
we're going. We've been kind of low key on some of our plans because the more we've opened up what we're doing, where we're going, one of our competitors seems to just, follow us around quite a bit. They're not following the same rules and guidelines that we are, which is causing us some issues for us.
Now, the money you're doing this, is it from MyHigh, the Michigan High School?
It's through CMIC, which is Connected Michigan.
Okay.
MyHigh has some other opportunities coming up through the BEAD that was already submitted once, but then at the last minute, the new administration, the president's administration, changed some of the rules and guidelines, which they had to pull it all back and sort of start over.
Okay.
They're supposed to be speed tracking. They still want to have it out by September. But who knows?
I see. When do you expect what you have right now, your projected completion date? Right?
End of September.
Oh, end of September. Okay.
Yeah.
For Casco,
For what
whoever
we
doesn't
have.
have it in the summer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. 'Cause
Like I said, it's not a hard build.
I know they've been waiting.
Yeah, well, we've been trying.
I know.
I could go into stories, but probably not the right place or time.
So that letter of endorsement I wrote, do I have to write you a new one? Or
You may, yeah, for me. Yeah. I mean, when it's all said and done, the network we're building, it's very solid, very reliable. Our uptimes is 99%. I mean, we're always updating our equipment, updating our servers. We welcome anybody if they want to come to our office and look at any of this stuff. I'll show you everything. There's no secrets here. We're right out of St. Clair. I was born and raised in Casco.
Yeah,
So we're about as local as you get.
right in the area.
I've never had a price increase on our network yet. We don't contract nothing. We just don't play them games like some other companies do.
Yeah.
There's one price, this is what it is, there's no caps, there's nothing.
Now, even though there's certain areas that have cable, you could get a grant to put the high-speed fiber the same routes as the cable.
To an extent. Like, let's say I'm going down St. Clair Highway. Okay, we'll pick Hessen Road, and we'll go to Church Road. Like the first section between Meldrum and Hessen will be completely acceptable for a grant. There's no connectivity there. Okay. Now, if you go from Meldrum to Church, it's going to be street. You might get one or two homes, but you get paid through the grant. You can access that to build through it.
Okay.
So you won't get paid for the physical address because they have service, but you can get the grant to pay to build the network through there. So I guess yes and no on that answer.
Okay.
So sound like a politician.
So that's a grant that Joe would have to look into and apply?
No, we have to apply
You
for it.
guys do,
Yes,
okay.
we apply for it.
Yeah, so then what happens is they would like letters of endorsement from the local officials to build up their packet.
Yeah, it just helps.
Yeah.
It just shows that, you know, you guys support us. So, like I said, you guys ever want to stop off?
Yeah,
Door's always open.
any members of the board want to ask questions?
On the September,
It's about
I'm
time.
writing in my minutes.
You know, I called Dave last week, he had no problem.
No, I don't. Like I said, we've had some issues, you know, like I said, if someone wants to stop off to the side, I was thinking what's going on. It's legit. We're here to stay and we're gonna complete everything we promised.
Okay. All right, thanks, Dave. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, the first thing we have, okay, we have resolution 2025-09. It's resolution to adopt amendments to sections A and B of chapters 52 through 59 of the Casco Township Code of Ordinances, modifying code adoption dates and languages. These are the codes in our general code of ordinances that regulate residential code, building code, electrical, plumbing, and that. And they were always written with us, when a new code was out, we put the exact one on. The only is when those were replaced, we'd have to update the ordinance. We checked with our planner to see, and with our legal, to see if we could just do it, just to make it general, that we're using the most current ordinances or most current codes. So we don't have to go back every time a new code is published by the state. Any questions?
So we're just changing, we're taking out the dates so that we don't have to keep doing this.
Right.
And we're just putting in most current,
Most current.
and that's, we found it, and it's struck in all of these.
Yep,
right?
yep.
And there are no other ones in the ordinance that we have to worry about doing this?
At least in the general book of ordinance. So 52, the residential code, 53, building code, 54, mechanical code, 55, electrical code, 56, plumbing code, 57, fuel gas code, 58, rehabilitation code, and 59, energy code.
What is the procedure? Do we have to do a public hearing for this?
No, that's for
Publish
zoning.
it?
Yeah, what we do is we'll put notifications in the paper,
Okay,
and then after, that's for zoning amendments
okay.
to the zoning ordinance.
But we have to put a publication in the paper.
That's correct.
Okay. And when does that need to go in the paper?
Um,
After today?
What's that?
After we vote?
Yeah. after you vote.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll move we adopt the change as proposed.
Okay. You adopt resolution number 2025-09?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, does anyone want to? Okay, we have motion support to adopt Casco Township Resolution 2025-09. Resolution to adopt amendments to sections A and B of chapters 53 through 59 of Casco Township Code of Ordinances, modifying code adoption dates and language. Okay. Motion by Wilson, supported by Kaczynski. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay. Next one is Casco Township Resolution 2025-10. Resolution to adopt ordinance number 58, amendment of Casco Township Code of Ordinances by adding chapter 65, property address numbering. We came into a situation recently where an individual was requesting an address for vacant property. While they're doing that, they wanted to apply to get electrical power for the buildings they were gonna put on there. We talked to our legal counsel, and Chris Anderson said it was a good idea to adopt an ordinance regulating the issuing of addresses. So they gave us an ordinance from Port Huron Township, and we modified it to Casco, and Chris refined it, and that's the product you have before you.
There's one thing I think we should switch real quick. It is on the second page, section 65.3, application. It says that the address number shall be issued by the Casco Township zoning administrator. And if you look on page 1, under assigned address number, it says that it's designated by the Casco Township zoning administrator or their designee. And that's also in somewhere else, maybe on page 3. So I think you need to add that or their designee after that.
Okay, designate, okay, oh, good catch. Okay. Any other,
Yeah, I do have a question. So, never mind, I'm good.
okay,
I answered it myself.
all right,
Okay, so I have a question.
sure.
So the same section that Jennifer just referred to, address number shall not be issued for vacant property in any zoning district.
That's correct.
So if somebody has a farm and they want,
If they build it, okay, here,
if they want electrical,
well, and only to a principal building, not accessory buildings.
okay,
So if it's a principal building for the use, but not an accessory building.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, any further questions?
I make a motion to adopt the resolution, yes, ma'am.
I think we need to make a clarification there.
Okay.
As to Gina's question, the reason this came about was because the person was claiming agricultural exemption. This ordinance does not prevent us from assigning an address if someone has a legitimate agricultural exemption. They can sell eggs at their front yard, and challenging right to farm and agricultural exemption is very difficult.
So are you saying that if someone is like selling eggs in front of their property,
That's what we're facing right now.
and they want an address,
And electricity,
we don't have any say-so over that, or we do?
they can, if they want to put up a building,
Yeah,
to store chickens,
yeah.
and they claim right to farm.
Uh-huh.
This was really the premise on which all of this came about. And per our attorney, it's very difficult to challenge agricultural exemption.
So they could do it then, is that,
They
that's what
could.
you're saying?
But they-
That was my understanding.
Yeah,
I don't know
they-
what Joe's understanding is.
But they have to sign an affidavit attesting that it's going to be for agricultural use. But there's a lot of uses that are not agricultural, which we're guarding against with this. So, and we're, so, okay.
So I make a motion to adopt resolution 2025-10.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion and support to adopt Casco Township Resolution 2025-10, resolution to adopt ordinance number 58, amendment to Casco Township Code of Ordinances by adding chapter 65, property address number. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, zoning administrator discussion. Kurt, would you like to come forward to discuss?
Well, I wrote, there's a memo there
Yeah,
to
there's,
the board.
okay. Okay, yeah, has everyone read this memo?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Lebetro is not doing his job, and I mean, taking a long time to do this. And you feel it's time that we should go look for somebody else.
Yeah, yeah. Because only showing more than 3 weeks, residents, contractors are calling upset, and frankly, we're starting off on the wrong foot with whatever they're building. So that's not the way I want to do business. I want to get the permits back to the contractors and people. I'm not waiting 3+ weeks I talked to Matt. He said, I'll try. You know, I asked him to have them back in 10 days. And, I mean, he's blowing that out of the water. So that's,
I mean, did he give a reason?
he says he's too busy.
Oh.
He says he's too busy with other things. That's fine. If you're too busy, then, you know, we gotta take it
Yeah,
back.
we're all busy, and we do what we gotta do.
That's it. So that's what I'm trying to do is improve things, and this is a very weak link in our chain. So,
All right.
Well, yeah, he's saying that we need to terminate him. so
Yeah,
that
make a
we
motion
send it
to
in.
terminate, and then also to put, you know,
can I say one more thing? We
Yeah.
just recently had a resident that took off work to meet Matt out at his property, and Matt never showed up. So the guy took off work.
And Matt did tell me he would be coming that day.
So that is very frustrating. I don't want that ever to
They were
happen.
very upset. They were very upset.
That puts everybody on the wrong foot.
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Well, I know Kurt and I have talked about timesheets. I got one this year.
Oh, from him, from Matt?
I got none last year.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
And I've sent him emails before, and I'm not gonna go chase him down again.
Okay. All right.
and we're tired of chasing them, so.
So, here's my question, if we terminate him now, it said that you're willing to do the responsibilities for now until we get somebody, so you know how to do all that.
I'm gonna figure it out. So, yeah, I mean,
Was it?
I understand what is needed, so it's just a matter of doing it, and it's nothing I'm afraid of. So,
Did Wayne do it before, Matt?
Yes, yeah, Matt went into it cold.
Okay.
but I would like to try and do it, and
Get some.
if I don't like doing it, maybe we hire somebody, but for now, I'll do it. So,
All right.
I move that we notify Matt and that we give Kurt a chance to take this over for now. He's done a lot of things to change the way we treat customers, and I think it's about time.
thank you.
So, let's do this.
Okay. We
And
have
we bring somebody to the board if Kurt decides that's what you want to do.
Okay, we have a motion to terminate Matt Lebetro as zoning administrator for Casco Township. Do we have support?
I'll support.
And I will do it for the same pay,
Okay.
you know, as Matt indicated.
We have a motion to terminate Matt Lebetro as zoning administrator for Casco Township. And have Kurt, in the meantime, fill in until he decides whether he wants to continue on or to put an ad out to hire somebody. Okay, all in favor? Motion carries. Okay, next one is the BSA cloud discussion.
So, in your board packet, you have an email that I received from the BSNA salesperson for our area. And apparently, from all the chatter that I've heard amongst other townships throughout the state, BSNA is no longer going to enhance the .NET version, which is what we have. And they are going to push everybody to the cloud version. Not for free. So he gave us an estimate of an annual reoccurring cost of $17,000 and a one-time professional implementation cost of $28,000. I think this is outrageous. I don't know what we're gonna do. I say we wait till the end, and then if they push us and say, we're not, you can't use .NET, we're not doing anything, then we kind of, in the meantime, we have to figure out what we're doing. Because financial stuff, there's other programs that we can use to do payables, payroll, general ledger. I could do QuickBooks. There's a couple other softwares out there that we can look into. I don't know how that's going to integrate with the building department. I don't know what other softwares there are out there to do what BSNA does, because I know it took a lot to get Brenda on board with BSNA because she didn't want anything to, but now it makes life easier and faster for everybody, whatnot. So I don't know what we're gonna do in the meantime, but he did say that even if we sign up right now, their lead time is 9 to 12 months. So, because so many people are switching over, but according to what I've seen on that MTA community emails that we get, there's so many people that said, don't do it, there's all these bugs, they need to work out this, nothing's working. So I say we just wait it out until the end.
And this costs like.
Well, and it's like, okay, you're pushing us to this cloud version, and you're gonna tell us we have to pay $28,000. We already paid when we initially, I looked up what we paid, and initially, to do the general ledger, the AP, and payroll, it was $7,200.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And then the building department, it was like $9,000. Well, actually, it was probably more than $7,000 for the financial part of it. But still, we already paid an initial setup cost of $10,000 or whatever.
It sounds like an extortion.
It is like they're putting us, against I don't know.
And there's no competition out there either. That's
No, and we used to have fund balance through Tyler Technologies, and they were not very user-friendly at all. But the Secretary of State sent out a bulletin that they're doing some kind of transparency software, like you can go online and you can look up stuff like people's casino, like what they get for taxes and whatnot. And they used Tyler Technologies to do this software. And there's been so many hiccups along the road that they are getting like $160,000 back from Tyler Technologies for all the errors and stuff. So that doesn't make me feel like, oh yeah, let's go try that, you know what I mean? So my recommendation is we just wait it out and see. And maybe in the meantime, we can do some research for the building department. Maybe, I don't know, Brenda's downtime or whatever, they can look that up and see if they can find something. I don't even know what's out there. But I can't see paying that much money. So I say we just
pure extortion.
let it go for now.
Okay. All right, the next one is Bureau of Elections workshop.
So there is the Bureau of Elections is doing a conference. They've never done conferences before. And it's a free conference, but it's in Lansing and it's 2 days. So I would just need approval for hotel and travel expenses if you guys are good with that.
So moved.
Okay. Do we have support?
Support.
We have motion and support to provide Jennifer's traveling expenses to attend the Bureau of Elections conference on September 2nd and 3rd there, 2025 in Lansing. Kelly, roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Dan, yes.
Kaczynski, yes.
Stevens, yes.
I always say this, it's so nice, I've been on the board a long time, and it's so nice to see that we have officers who are getting certifications, getting education, keeping their skills up, and that's all across the board, even employees. And I think it's great.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, the next one is St. Clair County Road Commission work order, ditching on 1,562 feet on Lindsay Road. This is ditching and tree removal on the north side of Lindsay Road, starting at address 9718 and going west approximately 1,562 feet. Replacing one 30 by 6, one 30 inch by 36 foot arch driveway culvert and relaying one 24 feet times 24 inches times 30 feet driveway culvert. Road Commission will pay the first $10,000 with local ditching program money, and Casco Township agrees to pay 100% of the balance. The total cost is $14,834. With the county kicking in $10,000, the townships will only be $4,834.
Such a deal.
Did you check to make sure we got money to cover that and give your numbers?
Yes.
I made a motion to have the road, the St. Clair County Road Commission do the ditching and tree removal on the north side of Lindsay Road, with our balance being $4,834.
Okay. Do we have support?
I'll support.
Okay, a motion support to adopt the Casco Township Road Commission work orders for a cost of $14,834. The county pays $10,000, and the township $4,834. Okay, roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Dan, yes.
Kaczynski, yes.
Stephen Chess. Motion carries. Next one is work order culvert replacement on Petticut Road. Okay, this is one 18-inch diameter by 30 feet long aluminized arch culvert. You have limestone in here, seed mulch, equipment, and labor. The cost is the worst case scenario cost is $5,717. We still have $1,349.75 from the original ARPA money we got 4 years ago. I want to use it up here, and then the township would have to pay the balance whatever the final bill was.
And we got money in the
Yeah, grant account. That's what these, both of them are, grant accounts.
So moved.
I'll support.
What's that?
I said so moved that we do the.
Okay.
You can do the details if you'd like.
Okay, do we have support?
I support.
Okay, we have a motion support to accept the work order for the culvert replacement on Petticut Road for $5,717, and the township is going to be using $1,349.75 of that original ARPA money that's left on this. Okay, any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Sorry, Dan, yes.
Kaczynski, yes.
Stevens, yes. Motion carries. Okay, next one is a summer property tax bill on the Meisner Road property. This is for our 50, our acreage here on Meisner Road. The amount due is $2,043.35.
I made a motion to pay $2,000.43. $2,043.35 for the tax bill
For Meisner Road.
for Meisner Road property.
Okay, we have support.
Support.
We have motion support to pay the Meisner Road property for the tax bill on for $2,043.35. Roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Dan, yes.
Kaczynski, yes.
Stevens, yes.
Do you recollect how much we're getting for rental of that property?
I don't have the figures, I have them on my desk, I can get them for you.
No. I think we're getting enough to cover the tax bill, at least.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But just so you all know.
Okay, now we have high-tech invoice number HTSQ 17757 This is for a reoccurring cost of $216. This is per month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be something with souped up security. But they're not, in the body of the quote here, we're not removing any kind of PC because that was actually a laptop that we had here. So it's the 216.
Okay. Anyone have any questions?
I mean, if you want, I can tell Jay to come into the next board meeting and explain it, if you guys would rather do that.
I'm thinking that it's a security issue, correct?
Yeah.
I move that we pay the bill, adopt this proposal. We're still happy with these guys, aren't we? So let's do it.
Well, we had an incident yesterday.
They provide us really good service from what I understand.
Can you support it?
I'll support.
All right, okay, you make a motion, you support, okay, we have a motion support to pay the invoice from High Tech or recurring cost of $200.16. I mean, $216. Okay, roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Dan, yes.
Kazinsky, yes.
Stephen, yes. Motion carries. Okay, self-use for building equipment. As you know, Katie will be on maternity leave from beginning of August until the end of the year. After that, she'll be working from home for 2 months. To facilitate Katie's work from home, including this package, a list of cell phones as well as wireless plans. Katie informed me that she needs a cell phone for voice and text only. Any files will be transferred via her laptop. Katie also informed me she'll need the phone at the beginning of January. Okay.
So the track phone, is that one of those like paid by the month, there's no
Yep.
contract?
No, I get, this is I always get track of.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So then like after she comes back, we can cancel it?
Yep.
I think you can purchase that track phone. From what I understood from Katie.
Yeah, you purchase
the
it.
phone.
The phone's $59, right?
Yes.
And then there's service.
Right, and then there's
plans per month.
various, you see there's various plans you could get.
So we can just do like the lowest. Okay, but this says $20 with auto refill for the first 2 months, so we don't have to do that. We can just do the 25 per month.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, they have lots of different options there. And we could keep it here, I mean, once Katie returns to work.
And then if we need to use it, we can turn it
Yeah.
down or whatever.
Right.
Oh,
You'll have a number assigned, you'll get a phone number assigned, and they'll always be with that phone.
right, so I think we need, and don't put it in Katie's name, it needs to be in the township.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Okay.
It's important to have township business conducted on township-owned communications because of the way the laws read them.
Okay, which phone in particular?
I say go for the cheapest one.
Okay, so that'd be the track phone, Samsung Galaxy A15 5G 64 gigabyte for a total price of $59.
And then it would be whatever, the 25 a month. And are you gonna go do this in December?
What's that?
Are you gonna go get the phone
We can
in
get it
December? Because
now
it
in
says she doesn't
December.
need it till January, so
Yeah.
you can go get it
Mhm.
and then, okay.
Okay, forward. Okay. So you made the motion there, Jen?
I'll make the motion.
Support.
Okay, we have motion support to buy the track phone Samsung Galaxy A15 5G 64 gigabytes for a price of $59 plus the associated
The 20,
package.
yeah, the 25 a month.
Okay, roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Dan, yes.
Kazinsky, yes.
Stephen Chess. Okay, motion carries. Okay. Katie gave me a thing about the township hall signs. The electronic sign message was approved by the township board on April 12, 2022. The amount of $29,500. Permits were pulled and the sign was installed and signed by the building official March 20th, 2023. After installed, the clerk's office tried to update and control the sign, but had issues doing so. Since they did not have time, they asked me to try to work with it. I trained myself on the upload on the sign. I noticed right from The starting sign did not operate correctly. At that time, we did not match what I put in the program. The sign would shut off at random times during the day and would not follow time schedule I put into it. Individual panels would stop working. Everyone in the office was aware of the issues. By this time, we could clearly see the sign was not working how it was intended. We also had multiple residents complain the sign was too bright at night, even though it had the timer to shut it off. I believe Joe contacted sign fabricators, which I did, to get our sign properly. He contacted on multiple occasions. On occasion, sign fabricators would send out their graphic designer to help fix the sign. Since he was a graphic designer, he could not offer any solutions. After notifying Joe continued to contact sign for a solution. For months of solution, the township attorney contacted, and they sent sign fabricators a letter on April 3rd, 2024. Sign fabricators contacted the township, but Joe was put in contact with Works Direct, who works with the internals. They do electronic supply to the sign. I've been in contact with Works Direct on many occasions. The only thing that has been resolved at this time is the sign matches what I put into the program. It did not replace the motherboard to the sign, but it did replace the motherboard to the sign, but did not fix the other issue. Joe was in contact with Curtis at Works Direct many times, again with no solution. As right now, I haven't heard anything from Works Direct, and what's the next course of action is to get it fixed. Currently, the sign turns up on and off at random times a day, even though a schedule has been established in the program, and now it cannot connect the sign whatsoever to meet these dates. And other information, meet dates and other information. Joe has notified many times that I cannot connect to the sign, make changes. Last communication, Beaver Township turned to sign fabricator was April 14, 2025. Do not know if any further contact was made. Since then, I contacted Works Direct, and they basically don't respond to me. So
not to interrupt, sorry. Do you email them or call them?
Call them. And I text them, and I email them.
So you have a paper trail?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if we do wind up taking them to court, a paper trail would be very handy.
Yeah, I contacted the legal attorney, and Chris Anderson told us to get another sign company to diagnose the problem, get it fixed, and then we'll take challenge network sign fabricators in court to recover costs.
Yeah, because they're trying to blow it off on the Works, like making it. We paid sign fabricators.
Right.
We paid them. The sign never worked correctly from day one.
I contacted two sign companies. One sign company was a Phillips sign there in Chesterfield, and they have an hourly rate of $115. And the other one was Metro Sign and Lighting. They have an hourly rate of $160
I got a fundamental problem with this. For 3 years, we've had a sign out there that is too bright, annoys the neighbors, and doesn't work properly. That's outrageous. We should do what it takes to get a sign that does work and pursue the legal and other economic issues, off to the side, and not have everything contingent on whether we get a company that's failed to perform for 3 years and keep waiting on it. I don't get it.
Well, I did send specifications.
That's what we need. We need a sign. We need to get someone to put a good sign on.
Yeah. No, I sent specifications of this sign to Phillips sign, and they said it's not a high quality sign, so.
It's not a high quality?
No. And,
there's every justification to replace the damn sign and then go to court with the company that provided it. And the sign that was not up to it and anything annoying.
okay, I guess I'm asking for authorization from the board to start to pursue that action.
So moved.
Okay.
I'll support.
Okay, motion support?
So what did I put here?
Well, I would say my thing is, we'll have them check it out to see if there is a simple fix to it.
Okay, so our motion is going to need to have you contact
Yeah.
a different sign company to
Yeah,
come
I'd say-
diagnose it
Yeah,
first.
Phillips. I'm gonna go call Phillips or the local house.
Okay.
And I have them diagnose it first.
I'm not against having it diagnosed. I'm just against waiting another 3 years. Get a sign that works.
Every
Every time I pull into the drive, I see, like this morning, the date was right. It said the next ZBA meeting was April, whatever.
That's helpful.
And I said, just shut the sign off.
Yeah.
Okay,
You gotta do
roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Dan, yes.
Kazinsky, yes.
Stevens, yes. Okay, motion carries. I'll make the call now. Okay. Okay, revoke bond permit number PPB 23-0050. Okay, it
This
was,
is a cell tower.
They both are, huh?
I make a move to revoke bond PPB 23-0050.
okay.
There should be a copy of the documents.
You support it?
Yeah, we have motion support to revoke, bond, permit PPB 23-0050. Roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Dan, yes.
Kazinsky, yes.
Stevens, yes. Motion carries. Okay, you revoke bond, permit PPB 23-0051.
I make a motion to revoke that bond.
We have support here?
I'll support.
We have motion support to revoke the bond permit PPB 23-0051. Roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Dan, yes.
Kazinsky, yes.
Stevens, yes. Okay, motion carries. Okay, Seaver Delasky invoice for $1,769.35.
I make a motion to approve invoice number 13568 for $1,769.35.
Support.
Okay, motion support to approve the Seaver Delasky invoice number 13568 for $1,769.35. Roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Dan, yes.
Kazinsky, yes.
Stevens, yes.
You guys are pretty pleased with them, guys? You're pretty pleased with the attorneys? How about that?
Yeah.
So it seems.
Yeah. She's really good to work with.
Seem very responsible.
Yeah. Okay, here is our annual renewal for Nichols and staff. Okay, the annual renewal premium is $14,308. Last year, it started was $13,169. The renewal premium includes optional terrorism coverages afforded under the Federal Risk Insurance Program and certain cyber and data compromise insurance coverages. The renewal premium has increased by 8.65%. Separately, you will be billed $400, $100 each for renewal for the position bonds for the clerk, deputy treasurer, in compliance with the state statutes. The position of the bonds will again be afforded by the CNA Western Surety Company. Okay, any questions?
No, and I have that email that you sent about the park.
Yeah,
Where is that?
yeah, I include that in there.
So when I pay them, I'll subtract that
Yeah.
from the general fund and pay that out of the Parks and Rec.
Yeah, so all that amount, $431.85 is for the park. And Jennifer, we have to pay that out of a separate fund than the Parks and Rec. Okay, we have a motion to pay.
So moved.
Okay, motion?
Support.
Yeah, motion support to pay the Nichols and staff invoice 24164. Okay, roll call vote.
Anderson, yes.
Dan, yes.
Kazinsky, yes.
Stevens, yes. Motion carries. Okay, citizens' comments.
You know, I just wanted to ask, you subdivide your own property, who rents that and leases it?
We have a township resident, Mr. Campo, rents it. You rent 52 acres for farming from us. Okay, anything else, Debbie?
Okay.
Brenda, you want to?
Yes, I've got to speak about the sign. Had the sign since, what was it?
We approved it in 2022 and it was filed in 2023.
So, if I as a township employee performed as that sign does, I would no longer be an employee of this township. So, my request to you is if Joe is going to handle this again, going forward, that there's a monthly report as to the status of what's happening. Because it's been very frustrating. Thank you.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything to say?
So you're gonna put that on the agenda for next month?
I got a question instead of
Yes,
a
Mr.
comment. Is within the last 9 months, has Casco Township been notified of any legal lawsuits? No? Okay, just a question.
What kind of suits are you talking about, Jim?
Just incidents that may have happened within the last 9 months.
You mean, has the township been sued or has other?
Have they been notified
No.
of being sued?
No.
Why, do you know something we don't know?
I'm not saying it was a question, not a comment.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Mr. Senator.
Jerry Simons, 9609 Reservoir Road. In the past, we were provided with a monthly report of the point.
They have some copies there.
I would give you mine, but I don't know my packet. There you
So
go.
that's all I wanted to point out.
No, for that.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah. It's so nice to have Juan finally.
Yes.
It's really good.
What's so nice to be here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, board comments.
I have a couple.
I have a couple.
Are you surprised?
No.
Okay, so we got a check reimbursement for our security grant, $2,000 from the state, and I was actually surprised that it wasn't like a quick thing, but it wasn't as long as the last time we waited. So we just got that, I think July 1st or 2nd, so that's $2,000. And then I also got notification that the MEMC, which is the organization I belong to, the Michigan Association of Municipal Clerks, they secured $1 million in grant money for ADA compliant projects for elections. And the stipulations is you have to be a member of the MEMC, which I am, and it has to be for a new project. It can't be for something we've already done. So we already got the doors, which that we need to make sure that those work because those have been giving us problems. I think I already called a couple people, but I think we should use that money to redo that handicap ramp because for the elections, we're still gonna have a precinct up there. And that ramp it needs some help.
Is the main entrance to the office area ADA compliant? I know it looks more compliant than it used to, but
The only thing, I don't think it doesn't have the door, but those doors are 30 grand.
that might be something to consider. Just
Right.
Oh, the ramp out there is 36
Right.
years old.
Right.
so. But that,
So,
to my eye, that entrance doesn't really look adequate and it's barely safe.
right.
It is safe because I kind of
Yeah.
agitated for something else to be done, but I think it could be improved and it's the main place that people come in to see you and do with random numbers.
It's supposed to be for election stuff. So,
Gotcha.
I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get people to come and do that. If I can't think of anything else election related that we need for ADA because we got this entrance now and we have the bat machines which are for the disabled, so you know, the touch screen. We just got new ones of those with the grant. So and we got signs. So other than that, I really can't think of anything, and we might as well as use their money to improve stuff that needs improving. So I guess I need okay to go ahead and do that, maybe?
Go for it.
Okay.
Anything else?
Are you gonna talk about how we got money back for the park?
Yep.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. Tina?
I got lots to say.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, I went to the park and it looks beautiful. The lawn is cut beautifully. There's picnic tables, there's benches, there's porta potty. It's gorgeous. I wish we had enough money to buy the property next door,
So do I.
but, yeah. Anyway, and I also went to the cemetery because I went by there last week, the grass was tall. I went by there this morning, the grass was tall. I just happened to be going by. I came back this afternoon. It's
That's 'cause they
looks
cut the grass
beautiful.
today.
Looks beautiful. Okay, I went to the road commission meeting this morning, and the St. Clair County Road Commission meeting, and you're gonna be happy about this. We are getting the state of Michigan, we have to share this, okay? A $3 billion,
I don't want to share that. We can do a lot with the roads and whatnot for
$3 billion, okay? And did you hear about that?
I heard a little bit about
Okay, and this is gonna be a big funding program, and with no match, so.
We don't have to match it.
it.
Right.
Is it going to be going to the individual communities or the local road the county road commissions?
The road commissions, but we're gonna get a share. Yeah, and what Mike wants us to do with that, he talked to everybody that was there, is instead of doing things like ditching, that nobody hardly notices except the people that live right there, he said he would like it on the roads, so people can see the difference, either resurfacing or graveling or whatever's needed. And it's not for sure of that amount, and we don't know how much we're gonna get, but it's a no-match program. So whatever we can get is good.
Yeah, and our issues, our roads are pretty good.
They are
We
pretty
need-
good.
Yeah, we need is ditching.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if people can see it.
But you know
The
what?
water's gotta go.
But you know what? We can do with it what we want.
I was gonna say, unless there's stipulations,
Yeah.
then we do.
We can do with it what, we can do a little bit of surfacing here and there, and then we can use the rest for ditching.
We're gonna be needing to do, some work on some of the lanes there that bypass by the overpasses. Some of those are gonna need some work in, coming years and that, so, well, that's good news there.
Yeah, and he said the budget will be increased in January 1st. The gravel and chlorine has been done. Do we have any private roads?
Nope. We
Okay.
don't have private roads.
A lot of people were talking about they're having problems with the private roads.
That's why we never had them.
I didn't know that. Okay, so we talked about Muttonville Lane last time I was there, and they, Richmond was supposed to close because that's in Richmond. Is it?
Yeah.
It is?
Sure.
Okay, so they were supposed to close Muttonville Lane because of incidents or whatever, and now that has been changed, so they're not closing it. But I have a feeling that's just temporary because of all the construction. People are really using Muttonville Lane a lot. Next year, we're gonna do the rest of St. Clair Highway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It looks good,
it looks, I told them it looked really good.
It's nice and smooth when you
Mhm.
get in.
And then I have a lot of notes for myself, that's all.
Yeah, I was talking with John Moore there. Their intention is to, right now, in the short term, is to close Muttonville Lane between County Line and Gratiot, just that little.
Right, that little section. Well, that's all that is.
There's a lot.
I guess MDOT is gonna do a design, a study and design of a roundabout there. I don't know how they do it, but there, I guess that's a proposal there somewhere.
And they are starting the roundabout over on, Palms and Marine City Highway. I noticed that some of the wiring is down already. So that's supposed to get done by October.
Yeah.
I know, October.
This October?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Didn't know so. Yeah. Okay, as Gina says, the overlay on St. Clair Highway from Church to BT is complete. The next portion will be done next year from BT to County Line, and that's using a combination of the county match grant and American Rescue Plan, ARPA money. So the township isn't paying no cost out of the township.
Oh.
Last year, Mr. Hazelton up at the Planning Commission, at the Road Commission, said that there'd be only, we'd have $5,000 left over. I don't know what costs going up, if there will. There is a chance that we may be on the hook to pay for a little bit of that, so. But we'll wait and see it, that's a year away.
We can use some of that non-match.
Yep, as Jennifer stated, the DNR, the 2 passport grants that we used to develop phase 1, 2 of the park have been closed out, and we received our first reimbursement for them. So, matter of fact, last month, the board, we approved this. I have to mount it up in the park. This covers for any other passport grants that we will have. So we did apply for one in January to develop a playground. We'll see, we'll know in December if we've been successful in that. Adair building supply. Okay, I had a bar, we had that suggestion, asking Adair building supply if they'd donate the 55-gallon barrels, and they did. So I'm picking them up. And there you want to put they want to put a sticker on it, donated by Adair building supply. I checked with the DNR to make sure it was legal, and they said that's fine. And I ordered, we had the dome lids that we approved last meeting here in my office. Okay. All right, and I want to thank this past Sunday, we had a team, the Parks and Recs Advisory Committee, we assembled the park benches that were donated to the township at the park. I want to
Did you post any pictures of those?
I got.
It was really.
I'm going to have Debbie Morgan send it. So we have Debbie Morgan, Jim Shannon, Brian Hill, Maria Olszewska, Dan Robleski, Dean Martindale, Bill Johnstone, Dave Shannon, and Green Shannon. And I want to give special thanks to Jim Shannon and Debbie Morgan because they cleared the spot by the river so we could set up a bench. And they also provided refreshments and that. It was good. I got there about 8:20. I loaded everything up the night before. Got there about 8:20. Brian showed up and we started to take all the stuff, and then the rest of the team showed up. We basically was slow on the first bench up front. Once we knew it, we went down to the river, braved the mosquitoes, took care of that, came up to the pavilion and did the other thing. The benches could be moved whenever we started to develop it, but they were a nice addition to the park. And,
Well, you guys did good on such a hot day.
yeah, we were done by 10 o'clock.
Oh!
We hung around till 10:30.
Wow.
Yeah. No, everybody chipped in and we got it done. It was a nice example of a community.
It looks very good. Nice. Everybody should go take a look.
All right, and that's all I have.
I make a motion.
Okay.
You know, we've gotten an awful lot of money through the clerks and through the supervisor's efforts for grants over a long period of time now. Quite a lot of money, and from the road commission, has come into the township. And I think it would be good if the residents could see how much these efforts have yielded in the competitive reporting quarterly or whatever, because it's really quite impressive the amount of funds that have come to the township.
I can get the clerk stuff.
You just have to look for it, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, just something that everybody could see, what you guys are doing, and I'm doing, but
Yeah.
just
So,
sort of this.
and people asking me about the pavilion on the park, you know, whether someone can reserve it. I think according to DNR rules, it's open first come. So I could verify that, but I'm willing to bet it is, because when you deal with grants and that, they're very specific. We can't limit it to just residents, although we can close it seasonally, which I'll look into how we do that. If we just post a sign and say it's closed. Okay.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll support.
Okay, motion to adjourn and support. All in favor?